quantum physics works at all these scales. And so this idea that we can have multiple possible states, simultaneous possibilities, and until we make an observation, we don't know which state it is in, right? Is it wave, particle? Is it this energy level or that energy level? We don't know until we make an observation or until we make a measurement. And so the observer effect said that it really required human observation, consciousness, to come in and observe and become aware of the result before it actually did what they called collapsing the waveform. And the waveform was basically that there was all these simultaneous possibilities, and then some of them were more probable than others, and that would form this sort of wave packet of possibility in terms of what we might get out from the quantum field. And so the key here is that the quantum realm has many possibilities, many probabilities. Reality is not fixed. It is in this superposition of many possible states, many possible realities, all at the same time. And until we consciously observe, and really when it comes to observing, we choose how we're going to observe based on our assumptions, our biases, our expectations, and so forth. So this informs the quantum field, and then the quantum field gives us back kind of what we're expecting. So this makes us really sit up and pause for a moment and say, well, what are my biases? What are my expectations of what I'm expecting to get out of life? What's my story? Because according to our story, whether it's subconscious story or the things we tell ourselves consciously, this is what we are expressing to the universe, communicating to the universe what we expect. And then the universe and the quantum field gives it back to us. So when we can change our story, when we can change our belief systems, when we can change our expectations, then we will be able to start contributing new information into the quantum field and manifesting a different reality as a result of that. And the key here, though, is that the more you can come into a state of coherence with exactly what it is you're trying to manifest, not just consciously wanting it and say, universe, give me this, but you have to believe it at a deep level, and you have to be fully in alignment with that thing that you want to manifest. So the more we come in, for example, and bring that frequency of love into coherence with the intention of what it is we want to create, and we're creating this whole being state of coherence aligned with that intention, then we put it into the field. And we're going to have a much stronger chance of getting it out. And that is where the magic of the observer effect comes in. So I think that there was some real golden nuggets that you just shared there with, how we really need to shift into creating flow and making sure that we're staying in that flow of abundance, right? Because if we tense up, if we go into fear, if we go into worry, if we go into anxiety, then that is like putting the kink in the hose. The water might be flowing, but we've just kinked the hose and it won't flow any further and then it just becomes this backup. Yep. And so when we get into fear, that's when the ego kicks in and goes into fight, flight, freeze, and the old brain starts to hijack, as you were saying. So one of the major keys for anyone who's struggling with any kind of flow of abundance in their life is really be careful around where's your mindset going into that fear, that worry, that anxiety, and learning to meditate or calm oneself, as you said, step back from the situation and try to take more of that bird's eye view of it rather than getting myopic or into tunnel vision. And, to really just learn some self-mastery, self-control. And the more that we have a practice of whether it's meditation or, we've done the work to really clear up the subconscious and where those kind of places where our triggers tend to be, and clean it up so that we're healing and not allowing those past pain points to hijack our present reality. These are all super important aspects on that journey to self-mastery, which ultimately will lead us to greater success. And then, of course, you touched on the topic of quantum, realities and manifesting from that quantum zone and shifting into that quantum mindset. And this is one of my favorite topics, of course, where, in the quantum field, when, there's this principle of uncertainty, there's always going to be uncertainty, number one. So in a quantum mindset, we recognize that uncertainty is part of life. Whereas in the old mindset, they wanted to control. They wanted to, have certainty and be able to control all the parts. But in the quantum mindset, in a new paradigm way of thinking, no, it's like, let go of control, and be okay, get comfortable with uncertainty, because in that uncertainty is where all those possibilities come into, the fore. And it's in the realm of uncertainty where the quantum field opens up, and we can embrace an attitude of there's infinite possibilities, and there's some that are more probable than others. But in embracing that, it's like we open up a field of so many options for ourselves in terms of what we want to create. And then as we open up, it's more of a relaxed kind of gestalt, quiet mind. The mind is quiet, we're centered, we're just opening up to that field. And then it's about finding that coherence or that resonance with what it is you want to create, right? Choosing. Okay. And then when we choose that, we bring our laser-like focus into that, that is what we're going to create. And we put that into our vision. And as you said, then, not only are we planting the seed of what we want to collapse the waveform around, or pull out of the quantum field. Now we've taken that energy and it's moving. Now we need to take it through other realms, from the idea to the brainstorming process, to the planning process, to the action process, because we are the ones who are here to create our reality. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the energy output is so important. You're right. Without the energy output, you can't get the exchange. And so you have to put forth that planning. That energy goes into that. That's conscious energy. The planning part and the action part is all still energy. And that's what's going to help create the actual outcome that you desire.
This conscious conversation was created, produced, and recorded by Dr. Theresa Bullard-Whyke in collaboration with Billy Carson and edited by Verse Content. The theme music was created by Tim Mountain of Even Load Productions. Quantum Minds TV is a product of the Quantum Learning Academy.